But I wanted to take a chance to introduce our folks here. I'm Jeff Labovitz on the marketing team for Star Wars, joined by
Darth Molly Krieger, also on the marketing team.
Bill Raleigh, product design manager.
Chris Calder, director of product development for Lucasfilm.
that's Jedi Master.
I'm one Padawan.
Yes, you're there. So we're very fortunate to have Chris here, Lucasfilm, like we've said this before, and all the years we've been here, fantastic partners. We love working with Chris and his team, and there's some more folks out there here today. So, terrific partnership. We love working with Lucasfilm and Disney, and we've got big things in our future. The future is very bright for this brand, and we're thrilled to be along for the ride. So what we love about Rebels, I was alluding to before, is its tie back to the past. And Chris here, who's of course an expert in the lore of Star Wars and the history, has quite a bit of info to share about the tie to Ralph McQuarrie. It's clearly a Star Wars icon.
I don't know about the rest of you, but every time I see something on Rebels, it gets me so excited because we're getting brand new stories, but we're getting them in a time period that feels obviously very familiar. And there are elements, once you hear the screech of a TIE fighter going by, the sound of its weapon, it just brings you back. You know exactly the era that you're in. But one of the things that's been talked about with Rebels that I think is really adds a layer to that is the influence of Ralph McQuarrie's artwork on the look and feel of the series. And anybody who's a Star Wars fan has got to be a fan of McQuarrie's artwork. I mean, it's such a fundamental part of the visual language of Star Wars. I mean, it's keyed into so much that's built into the films. And it's the look of it, some of the vehicles, the characters, it's all kind of pulling from that same DNA that built the original series. And I can talk about it all day, but actually I think it's more important that we've got a little clip of Dave Filoni talking about it. That was, got that ready to go?
A mobile probe droid.
Yes. So this is a whole new era to get into in between episodes 3 and 4.
Yes, the opportunity to work in the era that I grew up with. You know, even though it precedes that era, this show will precede episode 4. It's still tremendously exciting because this visual language is now open to us, and very directly what Ralph McQuarrie is doing is now open to us in a way that we could never exploit on Clone Wars.
You look at Ralph's design, and it's a few degrees off of where it was in episode 4 because it's concept art.
That's right.
When you use it in Rebels, it's going to be a few degrees off from episode 4 because that's where we are in the timeline.
Yeah. We said, what if this was CG? What if these paintings just pop them off and suddenly get dimension and the same type of camera work that you see in the original films? That would be a very inspired animated series.
I want to go as far as really trying to get the essence and color palette out that you see in all of Ralph McQuarrie prints, and then that feeling, that journalistic feeling you get with the lighting, with the color tones in A New Hope.
So you can see it's really throughout the series you're going to have it. And what does that mean, for us on this panel, for the folks here who have the great, it's a privilege and it's a lot of fun to be taking the visuals that you see in the film and kind of bring them physical form, 3D form. And of course, everybody here, Lucasfilm, Hasbro, has really revered McQuarrie stuff. And we've done the McQuarrie series figures before, we've drawn from very literally from some of those, and now we get a chance to kind of revisit that in a new way. So what you'll see throughout Rebels is a lot of that McQuarrie influence in big ways and in small ways too. And with the characters, we kind of get to draw from that same palette, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, there's some that are a little bit maybe more directly taken from it. We have Zeb, who is rapidly becoming one of my favorite characters. If you look at the concept art that was done for Chewbacca, right, originally, which we have down the left, and you can really see where that came from. It's right there at the core of when Star Wars started. So this is what we're pulling from. And you see other elements throughout. Some are maybe more literally taken from it, and I think we have a chance to see some of that a little later on. And then some of it becomes just sort of stylistically taken from it. So you'll see, when you see how the stormtroopers are animated, for instance, the way they look, there's the styling is there, sort of the curve of the helmet is just a little bit different. The look of the face is a little bit different, and it's drawn from a lot of that same artwork. And it's really a lot of fun, I think, as you'll look through the line, it almost becomes like little Easter eggs to look at what are the elements that I kind of recognize, and that makes it feel instantly like Star Wars. And there's bits, Ezra has a helmet that he wears, and you can see how it's taken, the look of it, the visor and the mouth parts, how it's taken from some of those designs that McCory did, from day one. So there's a lot of authenticity to it, I think.
Thanks, Chris. So we're lucky to have Bill Raleigh here, who's a big player on our design team, and he can show you a little peek behind the curtain of what goes into the steps of making some of these great figures.
Yeah, so what we want to do here is give you guys a quick glimpse of the process, more or less, of an action figure. So right here is Hera is one of our stars of the new animation. She's got a lot of attitude, and she's pretty cool in the show, so we really want to bring that through in the toy. And if you can see the next slide, we start to get some really great reference from our partners over Lucasfilm. It helps us figure out scale, proportion, color, and we start to plan early on with our sculpting team to kind of get things as accurate as possible, and we work back and forth with Lucasfilm seamlessly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And frantically sometimes.
Frantically. And the next slide here, this is an example of some head reference that we'll get from them as well. And then here's an early model of the sculpt. But so style is a little bit different than classic figures. Her torso is very small, her legs are very long, and she's the pilot, so we have to get her to fit into a vehicle. So that's to try and make everything fit properly and still look as much like the show as it could possibly look. And here's an example of a deco sheet. So we'll try and pull as much from the film as possible and throw that onto the. We're excited about it, and we got another one too. So
Available, and you can see all this downstairs. One of our mission series 3 3/4 packs. All new Stormtrooper Commander and Hera.
Next up we have Sabine. She's also very edgy and cool.
Mandalorian armor. Oh, not authorized to say that.
Again, here's some reference that we'll have early on. Pretty cool to see everything kind of come together. Because she has such an attitude in the show, it took our team 3 tries to get the pose to stand and function the way a normal action figure does, but we want you to get some attitude there to get that character kind of expression across.
Actually, if I can jump in on that for 1 minute, that's something I think that is interesting that may or may not be known about the process when we do it, is it's not, just, especially on something where we're sort of creating product at the same time that the source material is being done, we're going back and forth, a lot of questions that need to get answered. So we'll get this incredible artwork, this incredible reference, but a lot of times it may be what the artists themselves and the animators themselves are using as sort of the base content, right? So then, the next question, sure we have that, but what's the character like? What's the personality? What's the attitude? What's the, how do they move? How do they fight? So we do a lot of back and forth trying to clarify these things. So it's not just taking a static image and bringing it into a figure. It's really kind of capturing the essence of that character. And I think the Hasbro team does a fantastic job of that.
Thank you. But again, here's a color sheet or an example of how we would then give a sheet with our colors to our model shop and then over to our factories in China to have them actually manufacture the toy. 2 pistols with real working holsters. Attitude.
She's all attitude.
She's all attitude.
And there's her 2 packages available downstairs if you want to look at as well.
Thanks, Bill. So Mission Series is all about duos going out on a mission or truly rival pairings, and we have some new packs to share with you. So the first up from Rebels, we have Chicacho Bizago. His name, when translated in Spanish and French, an underworld boss in the world of Rebels, and he comes with IGRM, who is his thug droid, and he's based off the McCory design for RG-88. Never before seen 100% new figures.
Every underworld boss needs a underworld droid, right?
Okay. So everyone loves to share with you from Rebels. We have Wolf Waro. He is the leader of the Wookiees. And Chris, we have you to thank for such an easy name to spell and pronounce. Thank you very much.
We try to give it as many letters as possible.
Yeah.
As many consonants as possible.
So we really appreciate that. And he comes with one of the Wookiee warriors.
Do we have the Wookiee voice talent
I
here?
don't really
Oh, he does a great Wookiee. What's better than one Wookiee? Two Wookiees. So,
So we love Rebels. We're very excited about it, but we haven't forgotten about our classic characters. Scout, and we're recreating the Battle of Endor scene from episode 6. Next, also 100% new, we have Boss. It's safe to say that Boss is our favorite of the Trandoshan species, wouldn't you, Jeff?
he's my favorite Trandoshan bounty hunter.
So we love bounty
Wait, let
hunters.
me think. Yeah,
Okay.
Boss.
So we love this pairing and we love this new pack. Okay, so let's move on to Saga Legends. These are our single 3 3/4 figures. Here on the screen, you'll see 2 from Rebels. First, we have the ATDC pilot, which is the all-terrain defense pod. And as well, we have our Rebels TIE pilot. So this is the first time you're seeing a TIE pilot in the Rebels animation style. So we also, in addition to Rebels, we love the Clone Wars, which is available on Netflix now. And these figures are 100% new. We have the Clone Wars Jedi Temple Guard, and we have Clone Wars Commander Green. This is the first time we're doing them in a realistic style. We also have the F5 AT-AT driver, and we have for the AT-AT driver. Typically in the films, you saw him from the torso up, so you're seeing his legs for probably the first time ever. And for Plo Koon, like they said, we love the Clone Wars, and this is the first time we're doing him in a realistic style.
But he's going to hold his lightsaber first.
He woke up on the wrong side of the bed, not having a good day.
So now I want to pass it to Bill, and we're going to talk about a 3 3/4 vehicle.
So yeah, before we get into that real quick, I want to give you guys another quick glimpse behind the curtain, if you will. We have a designer on the team named Mark Boudreau, who's been with Star Wars for over 36 years now. Great asset. Amazing to have him on the team. And next slide. That's actually him over there on the right. And over on the left is an early model that he worked on for the original Imperial troop transport back in the 70s, 80s. So that he front is actually very wedge shaped, and the feedback was that it looked too much like a snow speeder. So he actually had to go back and flatten it and make the troop transport that we all know and love and probably had when we were children. And we can actually see that transfer over into the Rebels.
These are actually his notes from
Oh
way
yeah,
back when.
that's actually from his desk. Oh yeah, the one that you talked about his desk. So
Yeah.
that's what Mark works in every day.
If you've ever wondered what a toy designer's office looks like, it looks like that. Sometimes find it buried underneath boxes. That Naboo Starfighter hanging up his head. We've seen that down on his desk and Mark sprawled out.
Good thing there's no earthquakes in Rhode Island.
That's right.
So you can see his design has been actually as well.
So we were actually joking about that because when they say he's been there so long, he's pretty much a day one guy. I mean, he's been doing some of the original designs. It's fantastic, incredibly talented. So to see sort of some of the, we talk about McClory being the groundwork. Well, for the products, it's almost as much as Mark the same way. So we were joking about like the circle is now complete. We kind of come from the original designs, the original toys, which is now influencing the design of the series.
And his love comes through. I mean, you can see it in every aspect of this vehicle. He's got the figures fit on the outside. There's also storage inside for your characters as well. He made use of every single piece. Those open slots right there are for extra accessories and weapons for you to store. I mean, he thought of everything, and he wants to make as much use out of the plastics as possible so everybody gets their money's worth.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Star Wars Command coming out this fall on all the major retailers. All new way of playing. A lot of you have seen this before. We are inspired by Green Army Men play. It's what I grew up with, and a lot of us grew up with. And we thought, how would we take Green Army Men play, but have the Star Wars twist? So for the first time ever, you can recreate very easily the epic battles of Star Wars. You've seen this if you've been to our booth, a massive diorama we set up. And for pretty low price points, you can build squadrons of troopers. I think we have one corner of our diorama that's got something like 8 or 12 Imperial troopers in there. So fantastic way of army building and battling. And it's a time-old, age-old play pattern that we're infusing into the Star Wars world. Here you can see the layout of the type of battlefield you can build for not a lot of money. I mean, it's a very value-driven line with terrific amount of figures, and the sculpt is pretty detailed on this guy.
They're actually great.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I love this whole play pattern, because I was thinking that, back before I discovered Star Wars figures, because they didn't have been out yet, believe it or not. I played with the little Green Army, and the same thing. You build these great battles, and you have the little tanks, the little figures with the gun over its head. But this is kind of the same way. One of the great things also about the property that it's sometimes hard to encompass, particularly sometimes with figures, whatever else, is the scope of this. We've done some things before with the smaller unleashed and stuff. This is actually, I think, the best way to get sort of that sense of scope of all the troopers and all the vehicles and those epic battles.
So we have a couple new packs to show you that we're going to put out on display after the panel. We've got Clone Wars pack with a number of different clone sculpts with a couple episode 2 troopers, a pilot, Rex. So all of this, there's actually a couple figures missing in here. For all of this, it's under $5. So you get a good amount of figures, great amount of play for not a lot of money. We also have a droid pack with one of our favorites, Grievous. Here you get a couple different battle droid sculpts and super battle droid.
As you can see, our theme throughout is the generals or the important guys in the packs are metallic paint. So your good guys are going to be gold and your bad guys are going to be silver.
And we've got a slightly larger pack for under $10. We've got a Desert Escape pack, 10 figures. We've got Sand Troopers, the droids, Obi-Wan, and as Bill said, our generals here, we call them generals, but they're really the leaders in the pack. You've got Han and Boba Fett. All right, let's talk about some retail exclusives. Starting with our partners at Toys R Us. We have a great lineup for Toys R Us, a great theme called Reveal the Rebels. So it's all about secrets within the Rebel show. And all of the packs we're doing with Toys R Us have a secret to year or vehicle to be revealed after you get the pack. So I can't talk about them here today, or else I don't know what would happen if I said it. So all these packs have a secret reveal within each pack. Now I love the number in the top left there, 93. When have we ever done 93 of anything in one pack? So as Chris was saying, it's a great chance to get terrific value in army building, a one-stop shop. And it's worth highlighting here that this pack also comes with a Star Destroyer that you'll see downstairs. We love this vehicle, not only because it's so iconic throughout the fantasy, but for the first time ever, we're letting kids control an RC Star Destroyer using the power of the Force. We have a Force-controlled gauntlet that a kid or grown-up can put on their hands, and simply by moving your wrist, you can make it go forward, back, and then my favorite of all, turn your wrist over. And it fires a projectile. That was perfect. So it's really phenomenal. I mean, I was the kid, I probably shouldn't say this, but I was the kid who would cut apart my Green Army men, and take magnifying glasses, and do things to my toys, the cheap toys. So with this, you can knock down as many figures as possible. It's the goal of this play pattern. Set up your figures, knock them down. And this Star Destroyer, just using the power of the Force with your hand, sends the Star Destroyer into battle, and it causes mayhem, and the figures go flying. And it does shoot projectiles as well. We also have this other army building pack, not 50. 50! I said to Molly, hey, should we do a pack of 50 figures?
It's too few.
And she said, no, it's got to be 51. So we've got 51 figures in here, just a huge pack with an exclusive figure as well. And if you're going to get 51 figures in one shot, you need a place to put them all. So this is going to be a carrying case from Toys R Us where you can store up to 100 of these guys. I think we need a bigger carrying case because it's easy to get 100 of these figures. And of course it comes with an exclusive figure as well. Within 6 inches, our partners at Toys R Us have the famous cantina scene. No, I won't make any jokes about shoot it. Now that I'm done, but we know the answer. And you can also recreate the indoor scene. I think I'm going to get this back, of course. I'm not going to open it up. I mean, I like it.
3 3/4 inch.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to really capture the scene.
Big vehicle, great value. So for Walmart, we partnered with them on this massive Millennium Falcon. You've seen our X-Wing it's been revealed before, and we have it downstairs. What's another great vehicle to do from the Star Wars galaxy and make it big? The Millennium Falcon. So this is the biggest vehicles we could get for a low price. We just wanted to get the most iconic vehicle out there into kids' hands and grown-ups. And just fantastic value. Big old vehicle to fly around the house with. At least that's what we do. And you've seen, as I mentioned, the big X-Wing. For Sam's Club, we're doing this exclusive electronic X-Wing. This is Luke's Red 5 and R2-D2. You press his dome and you get phrases and sound effects from the Trends Run scenes. You can recreate that scene, and it's got R2's LED lighting up. So some great playing here as well at Sam's Club. And who's going to forget Jedi Force? For Amazon, we haven't done this before, all these Imperial Troopers in one place. TIE pilots, snow troopers, a really good pack. The team did a nice job with this one. For Target, we are very pleased to have these 12-inch figures. It's a 6-pack, and it's a mixture of both characters from Rebels on the far right to characters that are from the first 6 movies. So we've got Darth Vader, an exclusive clone in there, and an exclusive Shadow Trooper in there as well. So 6 great figures at 12 inches and a mixture of the past and Rebels. Also at Target, you can get one-stop shop, the figure and the vehicle. This is the Inquisitor and his ride, the TIE Advanced prototype. And get the Rebels driver and his ride, the ATDP. And Kanan, the new Jedi Knight from, spoiler alert, from the, he's got a lightsaber, of course he's a Jedi. New Jedi from the show, and his, one of the ships from the show, the Panther. Whoa! Also at Target, we are doing 6-inch. These are the Black Hole Troopers, the Shadow Troopers. I love these guys. These guys have armor that's invisible, invisibility army. So Vader sends these guys into battle, so he doesn't even want to go there. These are the guys that go to the worst possible circumstances. They're special forces guys, right? So we love these. It's a fantastic product at Target.
Wow.
And you've seen this one as well, 6-inch Boba Fett prototype armor. We've done it in 3 3/4 inch, and it's available exclusively at Walgreens.
6 inches, not 3 4.
6 inch. Did I say 3 3/4? We've done 3 3/4 inch. Yeah, we've done 3 3/4 inch. This is the 6-inch Boba Fett. Speaking of 3 3/4 inch, let's talk a little bit of Black Series.
All right, first up we have the Yavin Ceremony Leia. We actually haven't done this figure since 2004, so there was a little bit of room for improvement. So we went ahead and did that. It's a completely new figure, and she comes with her fabric soft goods cape, along with a medal. And who should she give that medal to?
Got it.
There you go. So we did an episode 4 head with the slick back hair, so that you can kind of complete your Yavin ceremony that the president wanted to do, and give Chewie finally his medal that he deserves. Commander Wolf. Here's an example again how we're taking some of the Clone Wars styling and doing it in a realistic form, throwing it in a 3 3/4 inch line, and he's a pretty cool looking guy. We're excited about him. 2 pistols, a real working holster, and he's got some soft goods on his skirt. We call it a skirt, not really a skirt.
Nice. Well done.
There you go.
It's Phase 3 Desert Armor.
Polonius would be excited about that one.
Yeah, well, this
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This one's for Dave.
Okay, then we have Captain Rex. I'm supposed to look at my notes. Okay, so here's where we actually, there's a new head, new torso, with the welding of the Phase 1 and Phase 2 pieces in there, complete with rust, paint, and welding marks sculpted in. Again, the 2 holsters for his 2 blasters, and yeah, you're going to get a lot of posability out of him. It'll be pretty cool. And we have another new character, Commander Doom from F6. Why are you all laughing? We're excited about Doom. New Commander Doom, who's created for season 6. He is our first phase 2 done in the realistic form. And he reports to Tiplar. He's his lead commander. Who's Tiplar? Okay, next up we have John Dutch Vanders. We haven't done him since 2004 either, I believe, right? Yep. He's the Gold Squadron Y-Wing leader. And this is another opportunity for us to kind of update the scope and give you something that's more realistic and fantasy. So we're excited about him as well. Yeah, and then next up we have the Yoda's Test Darth Vader. So this figure actually has a removable piece of Darth Vader's head or face plate, and you'll actually see Luke underneath, so you can complete your whole Yoda's Test tunnel scene you guys got going on at home, right? Finally.
Yep.
Next up, we have some 6-inch stuff. Wait, oh, the power's dying on your oh, okay. F4 TIE Pilot. So we're excited to be able to bring this character into the 6-inch scale as well. I mean, we're able to get more detail than ever into the textures of the fabrics that they're wearing, the shine of the helmet, the details that pop on the paint, like the metallics on the blacks, and even the buttons. I mean, we can't capture as much detail as we have without doing it in the 6-inch. It's been amazing.
Yeah, and we wanted to thank you as well. The Black Series has been such a success, the 3 3/4 and the 6-inch, so we really appreciate your support. We see no end in sight for Black Series. We're really excited about it. It's like a pet project for us, a labor of love for the design team here and Chris.
Yeah, and it's great because I mean, we can revisit some characters. You know, TIE Pilot's a great example where you're doing it in a scale where you can get into that detail, you know, so much deeper, and every button, every seam, and we do look at every button and every seam. So it's great.
The team gets a real thrill working on it. Molly and I are setting up meetings with our design partners, and when they find out it's not a Black Series meeting, it's kind of like, oh, that's all you guys want to talk about.
No comment. All right, next up. Okay, so we're excited to keep talking about Black Series, right? Clone Trooper Sergeant right here. He's in green, which designates his rank as a sergeant. And this is the first time we're doing a ranked Clone Trooper in the 6-inch scale, so we're excited about that.
Oh, nice.
We have the tools, we will build it. His Stormtrooper outfit, obviously. So this is an existing head that we put on the Stormtrooper existing body, but we made a brand new helmet so it can actually go on and off. We're not just swapping heads, you're actually sliding it on and off. But that's a good question.
Yeah, we don't have the collar.
Yeah. So one of the things is the design team came up with is, or found out, when we put that head on the body, you really see the neck and you see the joint in there. And working with Lucasfilm, it just wasn't acceptable. It's not realistic enough. So we actually went in and tooled a new collar piece that slides in there as well. So he's completely covered correctly, and it matches fantasy.
And that's a great, you know, we're talking about revisiting some characters, but it's kind of a new challenge to go back, and we're doing it at the scale. Detail is just like that, where, you know, we look at it together and we go, it's just not working, and you dive back into the reference, and you're pulling screenshots, and you're pulling, you know, costume reference on it, and going back in to try to, you know, it's great that you guys can work with us and find
Not
ways.
fun at all. I love it.
We've got Chris on speed dial for sure.
Yeah, it's good.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa.
Awesome. Wow.
That is right, Mark.
Molly is the world's foremost boss collector.
Yes.
That is. There is. Uh-oh. There is somebody.
So we're excited to introduce Boston in the 6-inch as well. And he's got a lot of great colors. He's really going to pop in that pack, and comes complete with his rifle. All of those hanging wires and all that are soft PVC, so you'll get to articulate them pretty well. And the most important thing that we're excited about articulation-wise is his jaw, because his mouth actually opens up pretty wide, and his tongue is a separate piece in there, which hides the articulation.
Now, why, you may ask, did we give an articulated jaw? Because we were inspired by a little bit of footage.
Jeff is inspired.
You all know this. Oh, there it is!
What?
I didn't hear the
Yeah, okay. Well, they want it a little bit more, right? That's the cutting room floor stuff. Right before they cut up, when he makes a sound, that's when his mouth is really
Right, that's on the deleted scene somewhere.
Exactly.
Right.
We're excited about
You just want to make a job and trying to make it seem like it's
Oh, it's actually to bring up another point, it allowed us to get more details in the mouth by making them separate pieces, so the articulation just came free. And then we decided to split the tongue out as well, just to help hide that articulation. It was actually a sculptor's idea. So it served the purpose and it looks better, so it's good.
I think some people missed it. Third time? No, don't worry.
Who's a sculptor?
Oh, Dave Bennemeyer is a sculptor.
Nice.
Also a long time
Yeah,
veteran
he's
of
been
the Star Wars brand.
since 96, 97, I think.
Yeah, long time.
You should see his office. He's got heads everywhere. Just want to go in there.
But you clarify that figure.
Figure. Everywhere.
That's right.
You're not doing that. Okay, next up we have our Java, which is available for purchase, which comes with the Salacious Chrome and his hookah pipe along with his rail. A couple cool things, just background information. We worked very closely with our packaging team to kind of get a very cool expression. You're going to get that flap opens up and it looks like the entrance to Java's castle, and we put a little other things in the side for you to put Han Solo in cardboard carbonate form. And there's a couple other little things in there, but it was a fun experience doing the packaging along with the toy at the same time. And he will be offered in our main line in our deluxe, our Black Series 6-inch deluxe, just by himself without all the extras. But that new form, the deluxe, the speeder bike that's coming out now, the Java, it's given us a bigger box. And with that bigger box, we can do more Black Series 6-inch, start to blow it out and do some bigger things. So.
And it's worth mentioning, as Bill mentioned before, at this scale we can do a lot more detail, a lot more things. So with this Comic-Con pack, we're able to actually get Java's food in there.
Oh yeah,
They're chubas, not sweet, they're not chalupas. They're chubas.
Taco Bell chubas, yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry, to add a little bit extra in there, the hookah pipe is not real working, by the way. But we did go in and sculpt or Dave sculpted, the chubas inside, so you can see the top and the bottom of them if you're so inclined to look real closely inside there. And it's just great getting that amount of detail in these figures, but we actually added a feature in as well. So if you move either of the arms, his mouth will open and close, because it's a soft roto head. So we kind of took what we did in Clone Wars with the Java there and the mechanism that everybody, at least on our team, liked, and we kind of put that in the realistic version of this Java.
There's actually no way you can't do that without going, whoa.
A little sidebar, I wanted an extra tongue in there that you would puppet with the other arms and get the whole.
That's
Well, he's got a tongue. It's in there.
What's that sound effect do with it? Would it like
Oh.
sound? What would it sound like?
That's when he was getting choked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whoa! So like I was kind of alluding to, we have a bigger box so we can do more deluxe. So what would you guys think could possibly fit in there?
Oh my God.
Whoa!
Oh, Luke, damn, that
It's
was...
very large. But we have him impact with the Han Skywalker. His arm comes off, his right arm is removable, so you can kind of create that picture arm off. See?
Hang them upside down.
We are hanging him upside down in pack as well. So he's going to be in the Black Series Deluxe packaging, hanging upside down.
Blood.
Oh, yeah.
That is
So
sick.
one design decision was made to go with a fabric or soft goods scarf around the head, so that when he's hanging upside down, the scarf actually falls correctly and looks right. So we pay attention to the tiny details sometimes.
Sometimes.
Oh, excellent. So we got a tauntaun as well. We have Han Solo. No, you cannot spill them open. You don't.
Oh.
No, not right now. Not in this version.
They smell bad
Yeah.
on the outside.
I really want it.
Will it be scented?
I'm really excited about Han Solo. He comes with his blaster and his binoculars, and then he will be able to ride on this giant tauntaun, which is 6 in the
A lot of
scale.
articulation.
A lot of articulation in the head, ankles, hips, arms. It's a really big figure, so we couldn't really get as much articulation as we would have maybe thrown in, but for the price point, this is great value. These two figures together, we're pretty excited about it. And the future is open. I mean, now that we have these tools, we can do anything we want. What do you guys think about what we would do? Oh.
I'm actually not allowed to reveal this here today, but we did it anyway. We've got this guy coming in 6-inch. So a lot of you have asked, and we want to deliver. So the Emperor is coming.
Yeah, so the Emperor is on his way, and actually, he comes with a completely soft goods cloak. It's a head-to-toe cloak over the head. It's fantastic. And I just sent the deco model over to Lucasfilm yesterday, so Chris, if you can just approve that as quickly as possible, we can get these out. I gotta go.
So that's the lineup we wanted to show you here today. Thank you very much for coming, and we'll be down